So I'm here with a special guest. We have Justin Curtis here in the house.
Yes.
Longtime friend.
Of course.
And I don't know how else to describe you.
I'm a Hot Wheels nerd, Lego nerd.
Hot Wheels nerd, Lego nerd.
Stuff nerd.
All of that stuff. And we decided to just do this talk because I literally know nothing about Hot Wheels other than
It's not that difficult.
you just buy $1 Hot Wheels.
Yes. That's literally it. I don't understand. Is there any problems here? It's just Hot Wheels.
No, there's no problems here.
You just don't understand why people buy them.
No, it's not that. They're cool looking cars. I get that, but like, how did it all start? Tell me how did Hot Wheels start and how?
Well, in 1968, you had a guy named Elliot Handler, and he started Mattel. Now, before this, he had done Barbie. Well, he was looking for some, way of just building toy cars, I guess.
Okay, pause. Elliot who?
Elliot Handler.
So Elliot Handler, you said he was with Barbie. Is Barbie under Mattel?
Yeah, Barbie's a Mattel property.
Okay, I mean, you're saying this like everyone should know.
Yes, everyone should know this. This is like the beginning of Mattel. This is like,
I literally have
don't
clue.
y'all play board games and stuff? Y'all are boring. It's not that difficult. So Elliot Handler, yes, this guy, he goes to Detroit and he says, I need the best. I need the best designers in the world. And so he basically steals a bunch of designers from Detroit.
Okay, when you say stole, how did he steal?
I mean, he just said, hey, I got an offer for you. Do you want to come and work for me instead of for these lamos? I don't know. Like, I don't have any specifics. I don't know how he stole them. I just know that people were like, yo, all of our designers are going away.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
So
continue.
Then he takes them to California in El Segundo. El Segundo is the home of Hot Wheels, basically. It's in California. It's roughly maybe an hour out of, I don't know, L.A. maybe. So it's a coastal city.
Okay.
Basically, they have a line of cars called the Sweet 16.
Why did they go to El Segundo?
El Segundo.
Yeah. Why did they go to El Segundo?
It's just a place where they started the business. It's where Mattel was.
Oh, okay.
That's where Mattel is. So they took them to Mattel.
Gotcha.
And then they started this brand called Hot Wheels. And Hot Wheels came around because it's awesome. And yeah, that's about it. Sweet 16. It's the first line of cars. They released them. They're Spectra Flame paint. Very pretty looking. People love them. They have things called red lines, which is it's like a red line on the tire itself. And they have suspension. So you could actually...
Sorry, dude.
It's not that difficult. I don't understand. This is cool. This is cool stuff for a 5-year-old. Imagine a 5-year-old goes in there. He's like, bro, I didn't even know what this is, but I just got it off of the shelf, and I'm just going to play with it now. Like, it's awesome. And not to mention, they have Hot Wheels tracks. And Hot Wheels tracks makes the car go wee.
I get that.
It's just a gameplay loop. Okay, this isn't difficult.
Okay, so they went to El Segundo.
Yeah.
Okay, and they started off there.
Yeah.
How did they become national? Like, you can find them in every store.
I mean, that's just Mattel is already a national company.
Oh, at that time.
Yeah, Mattel's already a national company.
So
they were looking for a new brand to start selling. So
okay,
it basically
their
main
brand.
Was,
so
the main brand right then was still Barbie, which was basically his wife's idea, and then he got into Hot Wheels, and so that's like their big two is Barbie and Hot Wheels. That's Mattel's big two winners. That's like the main brands of Mattel, and that just caused like a ripple effect, and there you go. Because a lot of cars at the time, a lot of toy cars were kind of boring playing Matchbox, or because they didn't have Tomikas in the state, and that's a Japanese company. So they didn't have Tomica, and they did have... Tomica is another die-cast company.
Oh,
it's
you know what?
in Japan.
You know what? When I look at the bottom of my kids' cars, I see Tomica sometimes.
There you go. Yeah. So that they do have them still. They have them definitely now. But at the time, I think they weren't shipping into the U.S. as an export from Japan, basically.
Gotcha. So
because they were a Japanese company, they also are really successful in Japan. They basically have the market there compared to Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels is struggling to be in Japan at the moment. They're getting better. Anyway, I digress. Where was I? We were talking about the beginning of Hot Wheels.
Yes.
Okay, so Sweet 16 comes out. Everyone loves them. Sweet 16 is the first 16 line of cars they ever released. Gotcha. So including the Diora and the 67 Camaro and a bunch of others.
Do they have pictures of the Sweet 16?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll probably put it up here.
Yeah, there's a you could just look it up online. It's literally Sweet 16.
Okay.
The red lines, this is also the beginning of the red lines era. So a lot of collectors that grew up with this these are their favorite cars ever. And I only have like a couple of them because my uncle has some. And so basically these are like the rarest Hot Wheels on Earth.
Oh, wow.
If you would. Only because most of them probably got actually played with. You know,
people are saying that these are worth thousands of dollars.
Yes.
The Sweet 16 Hot Wheels. Gosh.
Yes. If you find a full set, they are very difficult, very hard because a lot of people played with them. So a lot of people weren't saving them to sell later. Wow. They're just playing with their Hot Wheels like any normal kid should.
Yes.
And I say that to collectors because
kids, play with your Hot Wheels.
Play with your Hot Wheels. Okay, open it up, rip off the thing, and then play with them. It's supposed to be looped and curled and stuff.
That was something funny that my dad would do. So every once in a while, we would get Hot Wheels, right? And they'd be in the cardboard box and say, hey, you better collect it. It's going to be worth a lot of money like years later. Right?
Yeah.
And so we'd think, I should never open this.
Yeah. So in the 90s, especially, they had a very big campaign of HotWheelsCollectors.com. And so they had this whole thing on the back of like almost every 90s mainline. It was like, hey, back in 1970, this Hot Wheels was really rare, and it sold for a lot of money. Maybe this one will too at some point. Most of them don't. A lot of them are probably like $2 to $3, depending on whether like you're actually looking for one or you just find it and you think that's cool looking. Most of the time, you go to a hobby shop, it's like $1 still, honestly, because people are like, yeah, we have so many of these.
Gotcha. So actually, the value of the Hot Wheels goes with how
desired it is. Yeah, how desired it is. So, for example, probably the most...
Sounds like an NFT. Anyway.
NFTs are backed by nothing.
That's what it sounds like.
But Hot Wheels has an NFT, and I bought one because I wanted to test it out. Yeah, that's basically it. I just wanted to see what it would do. It's honestly trash. You can't do anything with it. No. I was very disappointed. So
you should sell it.
Point is, it's literally pennies. It's not even worth anything. I'm like, screw it. I don't need to keep it then. So point is there is like, for example, the Bugatti. So the Bugatti was made as a Hot Wheels before it came out.
Oh,
so a lot of people were doubting the Bugatti and how it would come out.
Wait. So Hot Wheels designed the Bugatti first as a Matchbox
car.
Sorry,
let me go back. It's the Veyron, not the newest one.
The Bugatti Veyron.
Yeah. So back then in 2003 or 5. There's a Bugatti.
So Hot Wheels designed it first as a Matchbox car.
So
no.
So what it is that Bugatti was trying to say, oh, look, on our new engine and stuff, we're trying to really promote this car. A lot of people were doubting, Top Gear included. They're like, no way, this car is hitting like, what was it? What was their top speed? What was the Bugatti's top speed actually? I don't know. No, it's not. That's Chiron.
By the way, you can't see him off camera, but Shane is here, literally taping with us. So,
top speed back then was 410 kilometers an hour. I don't know what that is in. Is that? Give me miles per hour. Come on. Is it 257? 257.86 miles per hour.
We're still stuck on the English standard there of measurement.
Whatever. I don't care.
We're gonna be stuck there forever.
It's forever.
But
everyone compares it by 0 to 60. So whatever.
Okay, so how fast can it go? What's the top speed?
So 257.86 miles per hour is Bugatti Veyron's top speed. Everyone doubted that they could even break the top speed record for just like a production vehicle, but they did. And after they did, the Hot Wheels for Bugatti Veyron skyrocketed in price. I mean, people wanted the thing because they stopped producing it at some point, and it was really just a small mainline. It wasn't supposed to be like a big thing. It wasn't a big deal. It was just a concept vehicle because Hot Wheels does a lot of concept vehicles. Right, so like they'll just take any car that any company says, hey, you want to, make a car of this? And then Hot Wheels goes, maybe, yeah. Or Hot Wheels will reach out to them, hey, can we make a car of that concept in little form? And a lot of cars in concept don't really make it to production.
Has there ever been a Hot Wheels car that was made that a car manufacturer looked at it and go, hey, can we manufacture that car?
Okay, so yes and no. I've seen a lot of, like Infinity, I've seen them take a lot of inspiration from Hot Wheels designs. For example, there is a car called Nitrium, and Nitrium was an Acceleracers car, but the thing was the grill of Nitrium, I think, was just copy and pasted on an Infinity. I can't remember the name of the car, but it was basically just copy and pasted on one of Infinity's like concept vehicles. And it just goes to show that, yeah, people kind of understand that Hot Wheels has a lot of good designs. But I've never seen a car manufacturer say, yeah, we're going to take that design one for one it. Because no one wants to do that because most of them are kind of ridiculous.
What is?
Like designs at Hot Wheels. Like they're really in concept. They're not really for production made vehicles, you know?
Gotcha.
Like the Dior 2, as much as I love it, there's no crumple zones on it.
Okay.
Like it would be practically useless.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I have no idea what a Dior 2 is.
Okay. So
what is a Dior 2?
The Dior 2 is my favorite car in the world.
And who designed it?
Nathan Prosch.
Who is Nathan Prosch?
Nathan Prosch is a designer at Hot Wheels, if you watch my video. Nathan Prosch is a designer at Hot Wheels, and he started back in the early to late 90s, like mid-90s, actually. So he did a couple cars for them, but in the I think maybe 1999 was when they had an in-house competition. In the in-house competition, they were trying to find out what should they do for a new Hot Wheels car to go into the new century, right? Because
what year was this again?
This is 1999. This is when I was born.
Gotcha.
So 1999 and 2000. So we want a new Hot Wheels car for the 2000s, you know? And so the idea was for Nathan Prosch was he took one of the Sweet 16, which was Diora, the first one.
Okay, pause for a second. So Nathan Prosch, am I saying his name right? Prosch. Nathan Prosch, he works for Mattel.
He works for Hot Wheels. Yes, he works for Mattel. Yeah, he's a designer there.
He was a designer at Mattel, and every once in a while, Hot Wheels does this competition design.
I think it was only for this.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know how many different competition designs because I don't have a good idea on that, but I do know Hot Wheels does have this one because it was the sort of turn of the century, so they were trying to find something to do. So for this one, they were looking for like a successor car, and the one that beat them all out was the Dior 2. So this is based off the first Dior car, which was one of the Sweet 16, which was one of the first Hot Wheels ever produced. So that means if they have one of the first Hot Wheels ever produced, they want a second one, sort of. Okay. So to turn the century, let's say, now we have what is the implementation of all these ideas from the 90s and stuff into the early 2000s? What would a 2000s car look like in terms of like sort of pseudo-futuristic, I guess, compared to like the old hot rods?
Gotcha.
So this one is very curvy instead of boxy. And the most important part is it has two surfboards.
So why is it called the Diora 2?
So
why 2?
Why the Diora? Well, because it's the second iteration of the car.
Oh, so there
so
was
the Diora was the
Diora.
first one.
Gotcha.
The Diora was from the Sweet
Does it
16.
look just like the Diora 2? Maybe we'll put a comparison here. We'll do that.
It doesn't look just like it. You can search it up. Just look up Diora, and you'll see that it's a little different. It's sort of like a what do you call it? Tetrahedron? No. Parallelogram. So it's like a PS4. It's basically PS4 with a bed.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Diora 2 is rounded, and then it has a wing.
I see it. Okay.
So basically, this car was actually first made into a real car as just a concept for Dodge. And then the designer of it, like I said, taken from Detroit, worked at Hot Wheels. And then Elliott Handler said, hey, let's put surfboards on the back. So now the surfboards are super iconic to this car, even though it never had it.
Gotcha.
So the original car never had surfboards. It wasn't ever supposed to have surfboards. But they put it on it because it looked really cool, because otherwise it would be really blank on a Hot Wheels car.
Right.
So they put the surfboards on it, and then that's why pretty much every iteration after that of Diora has surfboards. Gotcha. Because it's very important to the brand.
And this Nathan Prosch.
Yes.
Designed the Diora 2.
Yes, he designed the Diora 2.
Gotcha.
And Diora actually just means of gold.
And all the Hot Wheels people just went, wow.
Yes, basically. And they were like, let's make that our 2000s car. That's going to be like our brand car. That's going to be everything. And in 2003, it was the 35th anniversary of Hot Wheels. This is my favorite era. And so the Dior 2 was put in movies, comics.
What movies was it put in?
It was put in Highway 35 World Race, my favorite movie.
Okay. Never saw it.
Highway 35 Hot Wheels World Race.
Oh man, this is a
It's
world
amazing.
I'm
This
totally
is the first
unfamiliar
ever
with.
CG movie from Hot Wheels. It's like the best thing
so
ever.
Hot Wheels made the movie.
Hot Wheels made the movie in coordination with Starlight Runner with the comics. So they made comics, and then they made the movie.
Okay, so it's a 3D animation.
It's 3D animation by Mainframe Entertainment, which actually is still around today. They're now called Rainmaker.
Okay, what other movies have they made?
So not very good ones, honestly. They made the Ratchet and Clank movie. I mean, if anyone...
I didn't even know there was a Ratchet and Clank
It's good.
movie.
I mean, it's all right. It's not the best thing ever, but it's all right. They also made the Acceleracers series after that, and I think they just basically do stuff with Sony.
So let's talk about that, Acceleracers. So...
We're still on the Dior 2. I don't know where we're going.
So I think that's enough for the Dior 2. I think it pretty much got it. Nathan Pro, she designed the Dior 2.
Yes.
Everyone was like, wow,
Then they built
amazing.
a real one.
And then they built a real one. Everyone was like, wow, it's amazing.
Yes, by Chip Foose, which is a legendary designer.
And then... See, I didn't realize that there was an actual Hot Wheels cartoon series. When did this... It's what?
It's not really a series. It's more like a movie. It's a line of movies, really.
So it's a line of movies, and how many movies are there?
There's 5 total.
There's 5 movies, and how long are they?
The first one's 2 hours. The other 4 are 1 hour.
Dang.
Yeah. So they that's what. And then of course they have the mini episodes in between.
You know what, guys? Comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're shocked. Give us.
Why would you be shocked? It's not that difficult to understand that this is the best thing ever.
I literally had no clue that there was a Hot Wheels movie series.
Yes, until I entered and I was like, look at me.
Acceleracers had no clue.
So I basically meet people.
When did this come out? When did these movies come out?
2003 and then 2005.
Jeez.
And 2004 to 2005. And these were released on Cartoon Network.
What?
Yeah, so this was like, and Toonami and all of that. So that was like on the really cool stuff, you know. It was like, that's where you really watch cartoons.
Man. Well, I lived in Ukraine during that time, and
That's
they didn't
too
have
bad.
Cartoon Network.
That sucks.
So, no, it doesn't.
No wonder you
No, it's
didn't know
not.
about it. It's because
You know
you're in a
what?
different... Actually, you have no excuse. I know people in Czechoslovakia. Sorry. No. Czech Republic. No, it's not called that anymore. What is it called? Czechia.
What?
I don't know what it's called anymore. They changed their name like so many times.
It should be just the Czech Republic.
No, they changed their name. They changed their name.
Oh, my gosh.
Czechia. Yeah. Czechia. They changed their name. Don't ask me why. Yeah, no, it's called Czechia now, and it's also the Czech Republic. Same thing.
Okay, cool.
Point is, I know people there that have watched it, so no excuses.
Yes,
in fact, I know people in Brazil. I know people in Japan.
I
know people in Australia.
All over
I know
the
people
world
literally everywhere in the world that knows
I have
this thing.
never watched. There's people that's in
You've
the
seen
Czech
Star Wars.
Republic
Saw
that
Star
have
Wars.
never watched
Star
it.
Wars is everywhere.
And there's people in the Czech Republic who have never watched Star Wars. So it's not a big surprise.
It's not their process. I'm just saying there's no excuse for you.
Shane,
No.
have
You
ever
said
watched Star Wars?
You
have you watched
said
a whole series?
it was Cartoon Network, and you said you didn't have a chance to watch it, but there is a way to watch it there because I know people that have watched it.
There's a way to watch it. Doesn't mean everyone has watched it.
Just saying.
Okay, Shane just said Star Wars sucks. You know what? No,
You're just wrong.
You know what?
Later today, I'm gonna go watch the final season of final episode of Boba Fett. So I'm excited.
Boba Fett. So anyway,
I need to be careful where I stick my nose if I were you.
Anyway, Acceleracers came out between 2003, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And why did it get canceled? Like, how come they're not making more?
No one knows. Basically, what's the common
did they make money off of those movies?
Oh yeah, I think they did. People say they didn't. I 100% think they did because they sold so much. Cars to us. Like, you just look at how many Hot Wheels cars were sold in that era. The problem is that they released them late in their. So, like, for example, a lot of cars that are considered rare today are released later in the line. And the problem, though, is that they made the same amount of every single car. They just didn't release them in the same way. And so people just, like, think that these are worth way more. And I don't know. It's like, what the heck? Point is, they make a lot of money.
So between 2003 2005, Mattel made more money because of those movies.
I'm sure of it because of the way. Well, not only just money.
Or
you got to think about.
They spent too much money on that, and they figured, you know what? If we stop making these movies, we can make more money because we're not spending money on those movies.
After 2005, there was a shift in the marketing team, and the marketing team thought, I don't know, they were going along the lines of Transformers for some reason because Transformers was getting big. So they thought Acceleracers could turn into Transformers, but then they just thought, never mind, we're going to cancel the whole thing. It's too ambitious. So instead of continuing the series, they just thought, nah, we don't need to.
Whose decision was that?
No idea.
Oh, no one knows.
Like I said, the idea is just that, it may be something to do with marketing teams. It was just cited sort of a tragedy, but it's just like one of those corporate things that stuff happens. No one can explain. It's like, why did Atlantis, the best series ever, get canceled at season 5? I don't know. Stargate Atlantis, for those that don't know.
I still don't know what Atlantis is.
Stargate Atlantis. It's
Stargate Atlantis.
It was the most popular sci-fi show on Sci-Fi.
Okay, I just gotta tell everyone
something else.
Every time when I think I'm a nerd,
there's always someone there.
I meet Justin and I realize, wow.
But then again, I hadn't played D&D until I met you. So.
A 0.5 level nerd. I'm not even level 1 nerd here. I'm like the shallow nerd that just watches Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
There's nothing wrong with that, honestly, though.
Pretty much,
Lord of the Rings, that's pretty good things to like.
But I am pretty nerdy when it comes to Lord of the Rings. Like, I've read all the books.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't done
I've
that's different.
read the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, and then Shane, the silent nerd.
You're the cameraman. So anyway,
the unfinished tales. The tales of Turin, that tragedy.
Yeah,
Gerald Tolkien made.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All of that.
See, I don't know.
The god who created Middle Earth, Ilúvatar. It was the guy
Jesus.
who created. No. Jesus.
But
maybe by virtue
I don't know.
of Jesus, God creating J.R. Tolkien. J.R. Tolkien made Middle Earth. Therefore, God created Middle Earth. Therefore, God's a nerd.
God's a nerd. You heard it here, folks.
That sounds.
God is a nerd.
That sounds.
He created George Lucas, and he's like, you better make Star Wars. I gotta see this thing. And then he's like, don't sell to Disney. Please don't sell to Disney. What are you doing?
Okay. So going back to Hot Wheels here. Going back to Hot Wheels.
One Acceleracers.
Is there any push to progress with Hot Wheels other than just coming out with new designs? Are they going into any other forms of media, any other forms of products?
So actually, I kind of got out of Hot Wheels around the time that Acceleracers ended because I was expecting a 5th movie.
When you say got out of Hot Wheels, what does that mean?
I mean, I just, I looked at them, but I didn't like pick them up anymore.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really buy Hot Wheels in that age. It was like,
But
cool.
but wait a second. You have a YouTube channel dedicated to Hot Wheels.
Right. Here's the thing, though. When you invest in your audience and you make them want to tell their own stories with their own Hot Wheels with the characters that you see on screen, it's totally different compared to just nothing. Like, if you don't have anything to connect these cars to you or to like some other media, I mean, it's just a car then, if that makes sense. So it's more rewarding to sort of play with something that you can create a story with.
It's more rewarding to play with something that has a backstory to it.
Yeah, that too.
Kind of like Lego Bionicles when that got really big.
Got me. That's me. I'm a Bionicle fan.
Because wasn't that one of the first line of Legos that had like an actual backstory?
It's one of the first toy companies. Actually, Lego beat Hot Wheels to the punch by 1 year in terms of its releasing transmedia content. Bionicle is probably the best example of everything. Like, Lego went all in and actually saved themselves from debt. Like, they were going into debt and stuff, and Bionicle saved the company. So, and because of that, they were able to have Lego Star Wars. And Lego Star Wars went on to be like literally their most cash cow.
So why doesn't Hot Wheels go into those mediums?
I think from right now, I think it's just because, Lego doesn't do it either anymore. It's just because the internet has changed everything. I mean, back then you had the internet being like this new thing that people could go and find out stories and stuff. Now everyone's just on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They're just scroll. Oh, I don't like that. Scroll. I like that. Scroll. Like, it's just constant loops of information, and you don't really have a time to stop and look and read. Like, that's kind of the problem, is because Bionicle, you had comics, books, a game that you actually read.
Yeah, so why doesn't Hot Wheels do that?
Well, because I don't know. So Mattel, it's actually Mattel's decision. I know people at Hot Wheels that want to, but they can't.
Okay.
So right now, for some reason, Mattel really thinks that Masters of the Universe is like their best property in terms of entertainment.
Oh, you're talking about He-Man?
Yes.
What?
I don't know why. Yeah, they also own He-Man, if you didn't know.
I did not know
Okay,
that.
so they own He-Man. Now, recently they released...
So Mattel owns Barbie?
Yes.
Owns
He-Man.
Hot Wheels, owns He-Man. What
and
other?
She-Ra.
And She-Ra, and what else do they own? Thundercats? I don't know.
Actually, yeah, I think so. Honestly, what does Mattel own?
Wow.
How many brands does Mattel own? Well, I don't really like He-Man.
Johnny Quest? I don't know.
They might own Johnny Quest, but I think Johnny Quest was just they own Uno, Fisher-Price, American Girl, Thomas and Friends. So yeah, Thomas, Master of the Universe, Monster High, which is big in the 2000s. My Scene. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Some other stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mega Bloks. They own Mega Bloks. And Matchbox now. But those were like acquired, I think.
Wait. So Mattel owns Matchbox now.
Yeah,
and
so
Hot Wheels.
It's weird. I don't know why they do that.
And they compete against each other and they get more money.
But they do, but they don't. Because Matchbox isn't going for cool. It's going for standard. It's what you'd actually see. It's not that there aren't cool cars. It's that, like, if you got a Dodge Viper, it would look like it would actually look in real life, more than putting spoilers all over the place, fenders and all splitters and stuff that doesn't come stock.
Right.
You know, it's and also a big thing is actually mirrors, like side mirrors. They don't put side mirrors on Hot Wheels most of the time.
Huh. Interesting.
That's why.
Because no one needs to look back.
Why would you need to look back? You're going forward.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's hot.
Man.
Hot.
Right. We're not looking back. We're going forward.
Yeah.
Moving.
And actually, they did do a couple of different series.
No one knows
but
that song? Okay.
I think no. No, but they did do a couple of different series. So they did have a Hot Wheels series called Battleforce 5. Now, this released about 2008, 2009. And this came...
This is a Hot Wheels what?
Battleforce 5.
What is that?
So this is an actual series. So this is like 20-minute cartoons, and they only had 2 seasons.
Based off of Hot Wheels.
Based off of Hot Wheels.
Based off of Acceleracers.
No.
The universes are not connected.
They are... Okay, it's a little complicated. So 3 years later, the same team that worked on Acceleracers worked on Battleforce 5 because the marketing team wanted to go that way.
Okay.
Battleforce 5 is more of just if you were to have 2 Hot Wheels and just knock them against each other a bunch of times.
Yeah, I did that a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it is. It's just bashing and ramming your Hot Wheels, putting cool like saw blades and stuff on them.
Sweet.
The problem is they marketed it as Battleforce 5. Acceleracers missing a 5th movie. So there's 4 movies of Acceleracers. There's one World Race movie, but that's a prequel technically to those. It's not really prequels. Anyway, it ends on the 4th one on a cliffhanger.
Right.
Everyone wants the 5th movie. Yeah. 3 years later, they call something Battleforce 5.
Why?
Marketing.
Oh.
They want us, fans, as little 8-year-olds. I'm like, bro, I'm hyped for this thing. This thing's got to be the continuation of Vert Wheeler.
Right. It's not.
They name the guy Vert Wheeler, but it's not Vert Wheeler. Oh. It's not the same character.
It's an alternate
universe Vert Wheeler.
Gotcha.
And it is an alternate universe because they make Acceleracers references within the show itself.
Gotcha.
So in the show, you have different dimensions that the characters can go into. And they go into tornadoes, and then they fight in, like, battle zones.
Okay.
So instead of Acceleracers where you go into realms, these are called battle zones.
So the name of the series is called Battleforce 5.
Yes,
that's
because
the name of the series.
Originally, they have 5 members of this force.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's kind of obvious. They were trying to do a 5th, big 5 to the 4.
Gotcha. Okay. So here's a question. Where can you watch Acceleracers now?
You can watch it online on YouTube, 4K.
Oh, is it free?
People 4K'd it. Yeah, it's free.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
They don't really care about it.
Battleforce
5, however, they do care about.
So where can you watch Battleforce 5?
Honestly, I don't know because they banned it off of YouTube. I don't know if it's on a streaming platform anymore. You'd have to buy it on YouTube, and yeah, you can't really watch it anywhere. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Basically, who's the production company on this? They're basically keeping it off of YouTube, but also not putting it on anything. So, yeah, screw y'all. Because I can't watch it. Like, what the heck? I have to buy it to watch it? I'm going to stream it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is on HBO Max now. So, yeah.
This world that I have to pay for stuff to watch?
I don't know. Okay, here's another example. Because shows back then didn't have, like, season releases. It was like 4 episodes in a DVD. So you'd have to find all the DVDs of the season just to watch the whole thing.
Gotcha.
Stupid.
Okay.
Now we don't have to do that. Thank the Lord. Kids are lucky, okay? Y'all understand how it was going to Blockbuster, finding a DVD with 4 episodes and being like, oh, heck yes, this is it. This is going to be awesome. And then you realize this isn't the full season. It's only 4 episodes, and you still have like 20 to go. It's like,
okay,
I don't know why they did that. Acceleracers, you just get 4 DVDs. Easy.
I think we can go ahead and start wrapping this up. But okay, so Justin.
Yes.
I feel like I'm still very clueless as to why some fans are very fanatical about Hot Wheels. I get the designs. I get
Well, it's because, what do you mean? Like, you mean normal people or me?
Yeah. like you.
Well, for example, for me, it's because the story wasn't continued. So it remains in your mind as in...
No, but it's such a niche thing. But the thing with the fans is they're very into it.
Yes, because it's good.
I'm a fan.
Because it's actually good.
I'm a fan of Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But I'm not like...
Well, I'm a super fan of Star Wars, too. So, I mean, it just depends on what you like.
Dived into it.
I'm dived into it. You know, Clone Wars is amazing. It's because as kids, when you see animation and you see all of this content, like, thrown at you... I hit the mic. It's different because you can tell more stories. You can do more things. The guy in charge of the first movie, World Race, is called Jeff Gomez. He is a transmedia consultant with a bunch of these companies. And so what he does is say, okay, we have this awesome show, right? Well, let's make toys based on the show, and then we can have the kids tell their own stories with that. And then what do? You exceed those expectations that the kids were telling with their stories, and then you exceed it with the next show, for example. Say the prequels, right? The prequels were hated at the time. Now they're freaking loved by me and everyone because we were all kids and then we grew up. And with Hot Wheels, it's all these adults now, like old adults, they loved it as kids, and they also had a TV show back then.
But you're not an old adult.
But I'm an adult that, okay, so they are old because they grew up with the original stuff. So a lot of the original stuff is still produced now because those adults have so much freaking money. Why do you have so much money, guys? And so they're able to collect a ton of these cars. And so they release cars that they would have liked back then.
Gotcha.
Into like the collector series and stuff.
Okay.
For us as collectors, they have done nothing to help us. They really didn't like us at first because once Twitter became a thing, Hot Wheels had to keep answering, when does Acceleracers come back? And they didn't like that because they weren't bringing it back. Like, they know they're not bringing it back, at least at the time.
Okay.
But,
so just in closing, just to wrap up.
Is this really wrapped up?
Can you tell, can you, yeah.
If you want to know more.
Ooh, man.
If you want to know more.
Nerd is strong with this one.
You will watch Acceleracers.
So, if you wanted to convince someone to get into Hot Wheels, what would you tell them?
I would say, for the most part, most people just collect it because they see a real-life car. They want a small version of it. It's $1. For me, if I want to convince someone to get into Hot Wheels, I would say, hey, look at this amazing story Hot Wheels was able to tell with these just, like, cars, with just toy cars. And then be like, you know Transformers? Like, why is that so popular over Hot Wheels? It's just because Hasbro actually supported Transformers. Mattel didn't support Hot Wheels. And I think in time, people will see that Hot Wheels really does have a knack for storytelling and can have a knack for it. And that people can see these cars in real life. I mean, when you see the Dior 2 in real life, it is crazy because you see it on TV, you've seen it in cartoons, and now you can actually go and like look at it, which is amazing. It's like seeing Dom's Charger from Fast and Furious, basically.
Gotcha. So if you were to convince me to get into Hot Wheels, what would you say?
Honestly, I'd just say, do you like cars?
Yes.
Okay. What cars do you like?
I don't know. I like the cool-looking ones.
Buy Hot Wheels.
Okay.
They look good. They're $1. You can play with your kids with them, and they go forever. They last forever. They're fun.
Gotcha. Okay, I think we can end there. Again, with JayCee Squared, how can people find you on YouTube?
Okay, so you can find me on YouTube at JayCee Squared, and you can find me on Instagram at JayCee.Squared, and those are two different things. Okay, it's kind of hard. JayCee is spelled out JayCee squared. And then my Instagram is just JayCee.Squared. I know, it's weird. And you can find me on Twitter at JCC_2224 because for some reason I never changed it. The name still says JayCee Squared. Basically, just Google JayCee Squared and you'll find me. JayCee Squared.
So anyway, he has he has a lot of great content. He does a lot of streaming. If you want to get onto his Discord channel or Twitter, or follow,
you can also find me on literally everything.
You can follow him along there. He has
Facebook.
He has some fun
Instagram.
content there. So yeah, I think that's about it.
I don't think it's about it. I think I still have like another hour to go here because I could go on forever about this stuff.
I know you can. I'm already lost.
It's not that difficult.
I think that was enough for me.
Not that difficult.
Anymore.
Look, I'm even wearing a Hot Wheels hat.
I know. So shout out to his merch too. There we go.
Yes, buy the merch at jsligerman1032.redbubble.com.
Okay. I think we'll end there.
Clothing's dead.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yes, it was fun.
And we'll catch you guys later.